Morning, people. Today is day 6 of the Walk for Justice, where I'm walking from the first Nazi concentration camp right up to Nuremberg to the High Court, where the historic Nazi trials were held, and at least some justice was served on the people responsible for the Holocaust of the Second World War, those Nazis. And most of the leaders committed suicide because they were cowards. Like most of these people, evil people are basically cowards. But those that remained, they got sentenced. Some were hung, some were put in jail for a long time, some died in jail. But many of the people who committed these evil deeds, they weren't actually put in prison. Some were captured, but some were used by the Western Allies for their evil deeds in places like South America. So one example is Klaus Barbie, who's known as the Butcher of Lyon in France. He was an expert in torturing people, a sadist, and he was actually used by the CIA in South America, and he taught military personnel how to torture people. So we can see there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to people saying, we won the war, we're the good guys, we got the bad guys. That's not always true. That's also propaganda. Every society has its evil people. We know that. And I've been talking this week about individuals to highlight the ongoing genocide in Tibet by the Chinese communists, by the criminal Chinese government. But of course, we in Western societies, we have to look at the injustice within our societies and at the hands of our own governments. And that's why today's walk is dedicated to a Native American, Mr. Leonard Peltier, who has spent almost 40 years in prison now in the USA for crimes he did not commit. It's a proven fact that he was framed by the FBI and did not get a fair trial. He's, in the meantime, really sick, almost 40 years in prison. And I've posted a video, so please check that out. There's also a link to free Leonard Peltier by signing a petition. So basically, human rights are a universal issue. His Holiness always speaks about this. But also injustice is a universal issue. We cannot just bash China or communist China, although we have the right to do that. But we would have a much stronger case if we faced our own injustices. And the fact is that Native American peoples, this ongoing genocide for 500 years, and they're still hanging on. They're still trying to survive. So we should be showing our solidarity for those people who are experts in surviving a genocide. Reach out to them, sign their petitions. It's the least we can do. The Tibetan cause has amazing support worldwide, and it's become like a fashion or quite trendy to be a Tibet supporter. But we cannot just address the rights of the Tibetans and ignore the injustices within our own societies, because when we start looking at what our own governments are doing, then we can see there are differences, of course, between our governments, our democracies, and Chinese communist state or evil regimes. But when we look closer, we can see they're connected. And we especially see it when the criminal Chinese government officials are welcomed in our countries. The red carpet treatment, the whole thing. So they seem to be having a good time together, signing their deals at the cost of their own people. And that's something we have to address. And then we have a much stronger case against evil regimes. So that's what the walk's about today. And I'll be checking back in soon. Cheers.